I'm Matt Bouchard with REIT.com here in La Quinta, California for NAREIT's 2013 Leader in the Light Working Forum. Joining me is Marla Thalheimer, Director of Sustainability with Liberty Property Trust. Marla, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, my pleasure.
This working forum highlights the important role that sustainability is taking in the commercial real estate space and among commercial real estate companies. Now, your career at Liberty mirrors that evolution. What does it mean to you to see this growing number of REITs get more involved?
Yeah, I think it's really terrific that we're seeing more and more REITs get involved, that it's becoming, whether they have a position doing it full-time or somebody's doing it part-time, it's really on the radar for the REITs, and that's really important. I think that it's showing how important it is to our stakeholders. In addition, of course, it is important to the climate as well, but it's really tenants are starting to ask for it, investors are starting to ask, so it's really good. I think it's showing that the needle is moving. The one thing I would say, though, particularly for any of the REITs or companies that are starting this, sort of beginning this journey, I think it's really important that we don't think of sustainability as a one-time initiative or a department that we're setting up. I mean, it really needs to be how we run our buildings. We need to look at our operational practices and sort of what we're doing and think about it, incorporating it into what we do to make better buildings as a whole, as opposed to just one green initiative.
And picking up on something you said in the beginning of your answer, you talked about investors talking about it and asking for this information. Do you get the sense that the investment community is at a place now where they're able to weigh this information that they're getting, or it's all just kind of part of the data that they're collecting?
I think that it's definitely part of the data they're collecting. I don't think it's in a prominent place. However, I think it's gaining more and more importance over time, again, which is a good thing. And I think different investors who have different focuses, of course, may look at it more thoroughly, than others. But I think in general, I think just making sure that the companies, the REITs, are doing something, right, is very important.
And in what ways is Liberty able to measure its sustainability efforts, and what sort of results have you seen?
We do a lot of measuring and metrics around our energy performance, and one of the things we as far as results and successes, we were just named Energy Star Partner of the Year for the second year in a row, so very excited about that. Our teams worked very hard out to make our assets efficient, and we're just so proud of the work that they're doing. We do a lot of green building certification, so we have 50 LEED projects, and as well as 5 additional LEED for existing building projects going on right now, and we have over 100 Energy Star labeled buildings. And in addition to that, we've also saved 20% over our 2008 baseline, which is about $5 million estimated savings for our tenants.
And you mentioned LEED and Energy Star. What impact do those certifications have on attracting tenants or rental rates? As
for a rental rate increase, that's a little bit harder to define. I think we are seeing it in some markets, particularly like our urban markets. Again, I think it's more a piece of the bigger pie, but it is valuable. It's a little bit harder to tell in the suburban markets, like a suburban LEED building may or may not, get that higher rental rate. But again, I think the occupancy rates tell the story that there is value there.
And as someone who is focused day to day on sustainability, what's the biggest challenge you see in your role right now?
Data. Whether it's trying to be more efficient about the data we collect today, trying to understand the efficiency of the triple net lease portfolio and trying to obtain data, working with utility companies to try to get data where tenants give us permission. There's a lot of issues around data right now, and it's a challenge. It's good. It's a good problem to have, and there's some solutions out there. But yeah, it's one of the challenges.
And the last question, what do you think will be sort of the next wave or evolution of sustainability that we see in the industry?
I think what I'm hoping, I would love to see renewable energy being part of more of the everyday part of the conversation. I think that if we can get the business case to work to where it's more commonplace and not by exception, I think that would be really the way that we want to move forward. Particularly as we start to you hear more and more about net zero buildings, and as REITs, we're not going to be able to do net zero buildings until we get renewable energy to be able to have a good business case. So I think that we'll see that, but it will take some time. So hopefully, in the not too distant future.
Great, we'll keep our eye on it. Marla, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
For more on this and other REIT news and analysis, be sure to visit REIT.com.